is going on with Insomniac's Venom game? With the Wolverine game underway and slated for 2026, does that mean we might still get the Venom game teased in Spider-Man 2? Probably not, but people said the same thing about Marvel's Wolverine, and look where we're at now. Back in action, baby. Hell yeah. And like the Wolverine game, Insomniac never said they were continuing the Venom game, but I think they still are. And here's why. It's old news that Insomniac and Sony got cyber attacked by the hacking group Rashida. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Back on December 12th, 2023. That leak exposed internal documents, concept art, and unannounced projects. One of those projects were Venom, Lethal Protector. That name alone is solid, a total throwback to Venom's first issue as an anti-hero. Of course, that leak showed roadmaps for other games too, but today we're focusing on Venom. The game was allegedly going to focus on Venom's story, and apparently you could switch between Miles and Peter, which seemed like a lot for a 10-hour experience. Now, how does this all mean the Venom game might still be in production? I'm glad you asked. Back in 2023, leaks about Insomniac's Wolverine said it was expected to release in 2026, and sure enough, that turned out to be true. This year, during Sony's State of Play, we finally saw Logan in action in what looked like a near finished build. So what does Wolverine have to do with Venom? Let's put it simply. On WCCFtech.com, an article explaining the leaks and the roadmap of possible Insomniac game releases. According to the documents that leaked online following a recent ransomware attack, the next game from the developer will be Marvel's Venom, which will release during fall 2025 and will be similar in scope to Spider-Man Miles Morales, with 3 playable characters and a story that will lead into Spider-Man 3, followed by the already announced Wolverine in fall 2026, Spider-Man 3 in fall 2028, which could be split into 2 parts and even have a multiplayer component. 2 parts, holy shit. And X-Men in 2030. Breaking the pattern of Marvel games will be a new Ratchet and Clank title that will release during fall 2029, and a new IP expected to launch in 2031, 2032, which are currently supported by small arty teams. Being so far off into the future, release windows are likely to change, although the information is quite recent, as the slides detailing these future titles is dated July 2023. Now, I'm excited to see how the X-Men universe plays out with Insomniac. Drop your comments below if you're hyped for that too. Remember when fans thought Insomniac canceled Wolverine because of those leaks? It's still releasing in 2026, so you're probably wondering, why hasn't Venom released in 2025 like it was supposed to? All right, take a step back. Well, I've got a few theories. On May 29, 2025, Insomniac posted a mission level design role on job board greenhouse.com. You can pause and read all that if you want, but what caught my eye was the designer task for the project they're hired for. And that reads, a designer will be tasked in the following area of specialization: mission design, develops compelling linear gameplay scenarios or open world activities that tightly integrate other systems like level layout, narrative, combat, and progression. Now, this could be for any game on that roadmap, but let's think about it. Ratchet and Clank is an open world. Wolverine is more, I'll say, open level. The only true open world game Insomniac has made lately are the Spider-Man and Miles Morales games. If I had to guess, the upcoming X-Men game could share a similar structure, but that new job listing, it sounds more like something tied to an open world title, possibly Venom. Since then, it's been radio silent until a leaker known as the Redacted Guy posted on Twitter saying Venom is interested because, from what I know, combat system was completed, traversal system was completed, story was essentially smoothed out, and even mocap and lines from Tony Todd were recorded, but the game is also small enough where due to the breach it could have been scrapped. But what's one thing we've learned about leakers, guys? Yep, take everything with a grain of atoms. I think Redacted Guy might be wrong here though, because on September 15th, more info resurfaced. Let's backtrack to my earlier theories, shall we? I don't think Insomniac canceled the game just like they didn't cancel Wolverine. I think they decided to go radio silent, as they should. Working on a game takes time, and responding to speculation can be draining. My theory is that after the leaks, maybe Insomniac scrapped or rebuilt certain mission elements, which is why they hired new level open world designers to flesh out the story more. There's also been talk about some story content originally meant for Spider-Man 2 DLC that may have been folded into the Venom project that would explain why the DLC was canceled, turning that content into a longer standalone game instead. As mentioned before, Venom was supposed to tie into Spider-Man 3, and you know, with Silk being introduced, it would just make sense to flesh out those characters in side titles, just like Miles got his own game after Peter's. Canceling Venom would mess that story flow up, in my opinion, and since Spider-Man 3 isn't in development yet, as far as we know, it feels smarter to just, you know, keep them in line with Venom as they bridge. Now, to back up my theory, Screen Rant recently published an article talking about new developments around the Venom game. The long-rumored Marvel Venom spinoff has just gotten a promising update from a reliable source, added more proof of the Spider-Man 2 follow-up's existence. Ever since the Lethal Protector first appeared in Marvel Spider-Man 2 back in 2023, fans have been buzzing about the possibility of Venom getting his own Insomniac game. An inside source speaking to MP First recently shared some interesting details about Marvel's Venom, which they claim could had already be in pre-production as of this writing. They say that Insomniac is still prioritizing Marvel's Wolverine, so they aren't ready to confirm a release date. However, they think that the Venom game could come out as soon as 2027. This would depend on any changes to the project scale, as you know, previous leaks claimed that Marvel Venom would be similar in size to 2020's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Another source claims that Eddie Brock will be the host of the Venom symbiote instead of Harry Osborn this time around, and that Venom will be visually closer to the counterpart. They also mentioned speculation around which version of Venom could appear for Eddie Brock, and that's Agent Venom. The new leak also claims that Eddie will become anti-Venom at some point during Marvel's Wolverine, though he'll be more monstrous in appearance than Peter Parker's anti-Venom suit at the end of Marvel's Spider-Man. Story-wise, Eddie would be more in control of this new persona, just like how Peter was able to control remnants of the symbiote. Now, I don't know about Eddie being Venom since we didn't see much of him in Spider-Man games. Harry's Venom was so refreshing, and swapping to a new version might feel rushed, but Agent Venom does sound awesome, so I don't know. What do you guys think? With all this resurfaced info, I'm still excited to see what Insomniac's cooking behind the scenes. They've built something big with their Marvel universe, and I doubt they'd waste that potential. Sure, they've canceled games before, but not on this scale. From the leaks, patterns, and updated roadmaps, I think Insomniac's rearranging their chess pieces to keep us surprised and to avoid leaks spoiling our expectations. We need 18 inches of Venom. If this speculation is true, I think we'll see a trailer or teaser next year, likely after Wolverine launches. And with Sony's next console coming, I wouldn't be surprised if Venom Lethal Protector ends up as a PS6 exclusive, just like Miles Morales boosted the PS5. But what do you guys think? Would you like the idea of Insomniac scrapping the DLC to make Venom bigger? Would you prefer Eddie Brock as the Lethal Protector or something new like Agent Venom? Let's mingle in the comments below. Smash that like button, give it 18 inches of Venom, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos like this. Click the video on the right to check out my breakdown on the Silent Hill Renaissance. And alright, Sleepy Gamers, count your sheep, count your Z's, and go to sleep. Peace out.